Admiral Zixthera had commanded fleets across 17 different star systems, conquered worlds whose names were whispered in reverence throughout the Galactic Confederation, and never once doubted the superiority of Kelthani technology. That confidence began to crack the moment his flagship, the Sovereign's Wrath, started losing power as it approached the unremarkable blue-green world the locals called Earth. "Admiral, we're experiencing cascade failures across all primary systems," reported his chief engineer, her chitinous fingers dancing across holographic displays that flickered with increasing urgency. "Fusion reactors are stable, but our quantum processors they're just shutting down." Zixthera's mandibles clicked in irritation. The Kelthani hegemony had ruled this quadrant for over 3,000 cycles, their ships powered by crystalline matrices that could harness the zero-point energy of space itself. Their weapons could crack moons, their shields could deflect stellar wind, and their computational arrays could simulate entire galaxies. Yet here they were, drifting like cosmic debris toward a world whose inhabitants had only recently figured out how to split atoms. "Sir, incoming transmission from the Dread Executor," announced the communications officer. The massive dreadnought flagship of Admiral Kethmore's Second Fleet appeared on the main display. Kethmore's usually composed features showed the same confusion that Zixthera felt. "Admiral, are you experiencing the same technical difficulties?" Kethmore asked, his voice carrying across the quantum entanglement communicator, one of the few systems still functioning properly. "Every ship in the Armada," Zixthera confirmed. "The closer we get to Earth, the more our technology fails. It's as if something is actively disrupting our quantum coherence fields." The Third Fleet, commanded by Admiral Veltani of the Asfen Collective, joined the conference. Her normally pristine bioship looked sluggish, its living hull pulsing erratically. "My vessel's neural networks are firing randomly," she reported. "The ship is confused, disoriented. Whatever Earth is doing, it's affecting organic technology as well." For months, the three greatest military powers in the galaxy had been preparing for this moment. Intelligence reports had described Earth as a primitive world populated by bipedal mammals who had barely mastered electromagnetic radiation. Their most advanced computers were crude electronic devices. Their weapons still relied on chemical propulsion, and their space program consisted of launching metal cans powered by controlled explosions. The Galactic Council had laughed when Earth's pathetic radio signals had been intercepted. These humans had actually announced their presence to the galaxy, broadcasting their location like prey calling to predators. The decision to subjugate Earth had been unanimous. It would serve as a perfect example to other primitive worlds of what happened when they presumed to join galactic civilization. But now, as the combined fleets of three spacefaring civilizations found themselves reduced to the technological equivalent of sailing ships caught in a storm, the laughter seemed premature. "Admiral," Zixthera's science officer reported, his voice tight with disbelief, "I'm detecting massive electromagnetic field fluctuations emanating from Earth's surface. The patterns are impossible. They're creating localized quantum interference that's disrupting our technology at the subatomic level." On Earth's surface, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the underground facility beneath CERN, watching readouts that should have been impossible. The Large Hadron Collider had been running continuously for 72 hours, not to discover new particles, but to save her species. "The field generators are holding steady," reported her colleague, Dr. James Harrison. "The quantum disruption field extends approximately 50 million kilometers from Earth's surface. Any advanced technology dependent on quantum coherence is experiencing critical failures." Sarah nodded grimly. 3 months ago, when the first alien transmissions had been detected, the world's brightest minds had reached a terrifying conclusion. Humanity's technology was so primitive that it was invisible to these advanced civilizations. While they built quantum computers and manipulated space-time, humans were still using electrons flowing through metal wires. But sometimes, Sarah reflected, being primitive had its advantages. The breakthrough had come from her teenage nephew Tommy, who'd been playing with an old radio during a thunderstorm. He'd noticed that whenever lightning struck nearby, his gaming console would crash. "It's like the electricity is too messy for the fancy electronics," he'd explained. That simple observation had led to humanity's salvation. If aliens relied on quantum coherent technology, then quantum decoherence would be their kryptonite. And what better way to create massive quantum interference than by using Earth's already existing particle accelerators? Working around the clock, scientists had modified every major accelerator on Earth, from CERN to Fermilab to KEK. By creating controlled high-energy particle collisions in specific patterns, they could generate quantum field fluctuations that made advanced technology impossible to operate near Earth. Above the atmosphere, Admiral Zixthera faced the most humiliating decision of his career. His mighty fleet, capable of reducing continents to glass, was now composed of nothing more than very expensive metal sculptures. Life support was failing, artificial gravity was intermittent, and his weapons were completely offline. All ships, prepare for withdrawal beyond the interference field, he commanded. We'll establish a perimeter at minimum safe distance. As the alien fleets retreated, Earth's defenders allowed themselves a moment of celebration. They had turned humanity's greatest weakness, their primitive technology, into their greatest strength. But Sarah Chen knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy now knew that Earth was far from helpless, and humanity had earned something more valuable than conquest: respect. And in the depths of space, word began to spread throughout the Galactic Confederation about the primitive world that had turned quantum physics itself into a weapon. The galaxy might have stopped laughing at Earth, but it had started to listen. The age of human ingenuity had begun,